new version.
All right, so in my head right now, this is gonna play out a lot like the Cell Surge Icarus matchup because again, the decks are
Hmm.
so similar.
Hmm.
Um, so what I would say to you, if you were playing red, which obviously you like to play red a lot, I would
Hmm.
say it's important to know your role. And what I mean by your role is, I'm playing a control deck, like pretty much pure unadulterated hand control, and you're playing a mid-range aggro deck. So in that matchup, you really want to be super aggressive because you like a red deck will not beat Cell Surge in the late game because you're just gonna have no
Hmm.
hand or resources, this and that. But you can take advantage of Cell Surge early, because they have to tap out early for their threats or for their hand control, I should say, and that kind of stuff. With this type of deck, you are playing a deck that can generate a lot of value, so that's what you want to focus on. Like every play you make, you want to try to +1, +2, do everything you can. Like anything that draws a card, excellent. You don't necessarily have to worry about being super aggro because the deck, like a yellow deck, can't always just do that on the fly. So that's just my
So,
just my opening thoughts on the matchup.
one of my questions is, for example, and this is kind of like my experimentation, which I think it helps with aggro and just general, like when to push for game or when to kind of apply pressure for across all decks is like, for instance, one of my fears is like obviously aggro is trying to close it out as early as possible.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't shuffle this. Um, I'm I'm a little bit fuzzy right now on like sometimes I feel like I should push through a challenge or
Like if your opponent plays
uh
like a riposte or a topo or something, you mean?
right, push through a challenge because I know that they're either tapped out or whatnot, just so I can get the damage versus like maybe waiting next turn, but knowing that maybe I've already given them a couple cards from life or something because I did
Right.
some damage for them earlier. Like that's always been one of my uh struggles in whenever I've played.
Yeah, and that's actually relevant for the Cell Surge matchup because they play the Boo 2-drop negate, so that can be relevant for sure. And I unfortunately there's no hard answer for that. It's very contextual based on situation. Like for example with the Boo, you got to pitch 2 every time you attack, right? So the
Right.
question is, how many cards you have to give up? How many cards does your opponent have? Because let's just say they play the Boo, right? And let's say
Hmm.
Cell Surge is left with, I don't know, 5 cards in hand. Let's just say, and you have like 13 cards in hand with like 5 attackers, you can probably win that turn, right?
Hmm.
But if
Hmm.
if the hand size is more even, like I have 10 and you have 10 cards, and now you have to pitch 2 to attack, now I'm up in card advantage. So odds are I can maybe defend this, right? So that's like the context you need to look for, as well as like how many super combos have they been through. Does it look like they play sparking negates or the homicidal clone negate? Well, this deck can't play homicidal clones because it needs to be mono green, but stuff like that. You know what I mean?
So does Cell Surge have enough combo power?
It actually can have a surprising amount of combo power if played correctly. Like Cell Surge can actually have a pretty big hand, and the super combo just helps you filter out your bad cards because it draws 2, warps 1. So
Gotcha.
it can have a surprising amount of combo power, but there are also times where you'll catch them with like 5 cards in hand and kind of vulnerable. So,
Brick.
but it's like, yeah, you won the roll, so take it away.
Okay. Can you pass it? And it shows at least it's
Oh
on
yeah,
yours.
sorry.
Okay. No, you're fine. Uh, okay. Find card. Taken. And hold on, this turn.
Okay, so right there, you went for the Vegeta to play the Trunks. I might have went for the draw effect just because again you're
Really?
playing against a hand controller deck.
Okay.
But so
True.
what's your rationale on going for the Trunks?
Rationale is I can either evolve over them or I can get my boss monster out pretty quick to do crit damage
Right. Okay. So
before you can set up your hand for Awaken.
right. So we'll see if that ends up panning out like that.
Mm-hmm.
5. I'll grab this and I'll discard this guy. Put him in the drop. I'll use his effect, send him to the warp. Take a life. Draw a card. Oh, not bad. Play Newfound Power Gohan.
Okay.
I will attack your leader for 15k crit.
No, no negates. No negates.
No combos.
Okay. I think here. That is deck or drop deck. All right, I'll combo, but I'm still gonna take it.
Okay. I will pass to you.
Okay. Draw. See. Mm, Activate main. I'll activate main. I have 2 energy. I'll put this Vegeta under.
Yep.
Draw a card and draw to 6. Draw a card. Draw to 6. Flip. All face. Right. And I will think you're at 6 already. So let's go ahead and I'll swing at 5. And this is I'll swing at Gohan.
Sure, no counters.
Okay. I'll draw a card. And just 15.
He is dead.
Okay. And I'll pass it on.
Oh, sorry, it's kind of went right over my head. So you should generally always just do the effect that revives a guy, and then because that'll also draw you a card, right? So
Yeah, that's what I was like debating. I was like, do I bring him back? Well, he didn't mention hand size, so
yeah, well, it's gonna give you the same hand size, right? Because you bring a guy back, and then he activates to draw you a card, right? So
true.
So you actually is
Okay.
generating a whole extra card. So you just do that part. It's fine. Just
Okay.
because it would have been the same draw anyway.
Yeah, so I've been the same draw, played him,
Yeah,
and then
and
I
now you just
draw
have like
card.
extra 5k combo for free, as well as like possible evolve plays or whatever.
Yep, yep. And that's why it probably didn't make sense when I comboed, even though I took the hit, because I knew I could at least just keep cycling back.
Yeah, yeah, and that was cool. Like when you comboed it, because again, yeah, you just bring it back, draw a card, whatever. Um, but yeah, there's generally no reason to not do it like this. Like you should pretty much always just revive a guy as long as it draws you a card. Unless they
Okay.
have like Dark Power Black Mass Saiyan or something that triggers when you play a guy by a skill, you know what I mean?
Gotcha. Okay.
So my go, right?
Yep.
Draw. Untap.
And I've actually never played Icarus, so I'm assuming that's kind of how you
Yeah,
would
yeah,
do
very
things with
similar, very
Icarus.
very similar. Yeah, you want to just except this in this deck in the Trunks Vegeta deck, you don't have to combo them as frequently unless you just need to guard for 5k. As where Icarus, like you draw by comboing them, so it's a little different in that respect. But all right, let's charge this guy. Leader effect. Look at top 5. I will grab this, and then I will discard. It's actually tough. Card. This guy. Oh, what am I? I'm absolutely trolling. Sorry. This guy. I will activate Rebrand.
Right. I choose to.
Yep.
Let me think. What you don't have any? Okay, so he's gonna be. So the drop, right?
Yep.
Okay, drop. There's 1, and say there's 2.
Cool. Yeah, both those cards are not super applicable in this matchup.
Mhm.
Actually, Freeze Armor Reinforcements can be good. Yeah, you don't really rely too much on a Unison because once Cell Surge establishes Dark Broly, which is going to come down next turn, they'll attack into your Unisons a lot of the times or battle cards if they're in rest mode. So like Freeze Armor Reinforcements can be a good way to get yourself down to 4 life if you need to get there. But again, it depends on your hand, how it's looking, if you're going to play a Unison or not, that kind of thing.
And that's why I like this leader, because at least in this deck, at least this build, I do not run a unison.
Right. Yeah, and yellow absolutely doesn't need unisons, but Trunks is always a good one to go with. I like a 2-of or something.
Yeah. I think here. Yeah. Swing at leader.
No counters.
So, oh no, I guess because it's not in the drop already.
Yeah, no. In this situation, just draw a card. It's fine. There's no reason to like combo it and do that kind of
Okay.
thing.
Draw a card.
It's just like if one of those two is in your drop, just revive it. It's always good to do that.
Gotcha. That'll be just 15.
We'll take one.
And I guess I can see what you mean. For the Trunks Unison, what is that? You would usually run 2 copies or 3?
Yeah, most yellow decks run 2 copies.
2 copies.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 copies in the main, maybe one more in the side if there's certain matchups where you think it might be good. But
Gotcha. Okay, I'll have to unfortunately pass turn.
draw. Guys got barrier right. Pretty good. Charge this guy. Leader effect like a top 5. I will grab this. And then I will pitch this. Use the effect. Take a life. Draw a card. I'll play my Dark Broly Unison.
Mhm.
I'm gonna activate the +2, so I discard a card and you discard a card.
Okay. Think because that doesn't have that. I'll put that in the drop.
And then I'm gonna activate Deborah, so I take a marker off my Dark Broly, and then I get to add the ball back from my drop to my hand. But I'm gonna look through my deck first, real quick to see.
Then I pitch another card, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And then I'm gonna pass to you.
Okay.
Yeah, just from my perspective, like turn 2, you weren't able to do anything. Turn 3, you weren't able to do much. So I feel like I'm in a good spot because of that.
Yeah. Turn 4, I'm not gonna be able to do anything.
Oh boy, just nothing's coming along.
Yeah, it's been one of those days. Let me think here. This is reminding me of that Dark Broly matchup. See, do I even bother? Well, I should. No, I'm not going to. I won't charge.
Okay.
I'll swing at leader.
No counters.
15.
I'm gonna pair get super combo. So draw 2 and then warp 1. I will warp this card. 20k.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Damn. And I could do that, but I don't want to.
That is a tough decision.
Yeah, it's a very tough decision. Do I just It's all right. I'll just pass it.
This. The top 5.
I'm usually the one doing the hand control, so it's very interesting to see on the opposite end.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not very fun, but you did want to test against it, which is fair.
Yeah, he's like, you're the only one that probably wants to do that, but okay.
It's a meta matchup. No, sometimes you gotta bang your head against the wall.
Yeah.
All right, I will activate Ribrianne. And then I'm going to.
Actually, I'm not gonna put that one in. I'll put this one in there.
Sounds good. I will use the Boar's effect.
Okay. And he goes anyway.
Add the ball to my hand. I'm going to Surge Awaken. I'm gonna play Rosie.
Damn. Okay.
So I gotta pitch 2 off that one.
Which 2, man? Damn.
Just mentioning in this case, even though Rosie has a flex, if you had a steadfast in hand, it could be okay to play it. But at the same time, I mean, I have various effects that KO battle cards, so
yeah, draw. Yeah, it would do. It would just be a cantrip.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well. Okay, we're gonna have to pitch 1, and we're gonna have to pitch 2.
Yep. All right. I will activate my leader effect to take the last card in your hand.
Damn.
Yeah, and this is where like meta Cell Surge comes in, because I know you haven't played against it too much. Is like they're gonna take, they're not gonna really do much until they're able to take every card from you. I'm gonna activate this cell of my grave, take a life draw card. All right, I will attack your leader for 15.
No negates.
No combos, just 15.
All right. Oh, combo 20. No, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, at some point doing that, I don't think is bad, because as long as there is a next turn, you'll get that card back, right? So that's not too bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will attack your leader for the second time.
No negates.
15.
I will take it.
All right. I'll attack your leader for the final 15.
I'll block, and then I'll do Power of a Super Saiyan to tap your Unison.
Broken. I will attack your leader again.
No negates.
I'll leave it at 15.
I'll take it.
And then I should have done this earlier, but I haven't plus 2'd yet, so I'll plus 2. I pitch 1, you pitch 1.
All right, send to drop.
I don't know. Oh, that's my surge. Okay. And I will pass to you.
Okay. This is interesting type of spread I'm seeing here. Let me think here. Okay. Swing at leader.
No counter.
Fine card. Bring him in. A2.
Hold on. Any combos on the battle?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, no no combos.
No
Just
worries.
15.
I will combo.
Okay. And then I will bring him out.
Okay.
Um, I will. What else is there? Oh, that's true. Okay. Should probably just do that. All right, I'll pay 2
Mm-hmm.
the Turleys.
Nice, nice.
So I'll KO Rosie.
Sure.
And then I'll draw a card.
Hmm.
And then I'll swing it later.
No counters on my end.
All right. Um, I guess I gotta go for it. That's so I'm gonna place these two, activate main.
Yeah, I mean, just definitely think there anything that could stop this, right? Yellow has Final Flash. Obviously, I'm not playing yellow energy, but like, is there anything green could do to like KO this guy during battle? Just think about that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
there's the ape, but like, if you're running that, I'd be impressed.
Yeah, I think he actually needs a mono green leader. I think.
Oh, it might be.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying there is much that will kill this guy during battle. I'm just saying, make sure to just give it a thought.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I drew a card, which actually, if I did the activate, well, I didn't know if that was going to happen because it was in rest mode. So
Actually, you didn't draw the card yet, right? Because
I
you
I
played
did from
you played
Turles.
right, but then you draw another card from this guy's effect as well.
Oh, you do? Wow.
Which is quite good.
Yeah, that is quite good. Um, I'll just go all in.
Going to for 50K.
50, 5, 10, 15, 50 triple.
All right, I've got 30, 40, and 50. Nice, GG.
Oh, wow. GG.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I could have done differently. Like I don't play Cell Surge all the time, but I mean generally,
Yeah.
like I took your hand to 0 and you still pulled the game out, so that was pretty awesome. Nice.
That's why this boss is like, it's just crazy for a
Yeah, yeah. Like
triple
I said,
hit.
right? It's good against green. It's solid against green, right? Just against like blue and yellow might be a little bit less good, but
Yeah, yeah, blue, I noticed like if they have a unison out, I have to attack the unison. Like I have to control the board state so that way they can't do God
yeah,
Sealing.
God Sealing Trunks. Yeah, that's one thing I've always like. I've kind of felt this way since like set 12. I want to say like blue's unisons are very strong and they give access to God Sealing, of course, which is really good. But what I've noticed against blue is like sometimes you're just in a position to deal with their unison and sometimes you're not, and you have to be able to recognize that because there are some
Yeah.
games that I've lost because I just focused on unison way too much and then I gave them
Mhm.
like a million turns to just do whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
Where sometimes you gotta kind of ignore the unison, and actually, I think a lot of that also depends on who goes first. Like, I think if you go first and I'm playing blue, like I think you are in a much better spot to kill my unison because you have you could play Turles earlier, you could play your Trunks unison earlier to do it. But if I go first, you're obviously an energy behind, so it's a little bit tougher to deal with that unison. So I said all to say just keep a mindful eye of can I really kill the unison right now? Can I not really deal with it? That kind of thing.
One of the buddies that I play with, he plays a lot of actually the Bardock Rainbow, but he also likes to play the new Vegeta, the Gogeta Vegeta, and
Hmm.
that's a lot of times what it turns out to. I'll be playing some deck, it'll be yellow or whatever, and I'll be hovering at like 3 or 4 life, and I'll almost keep him at like 6 or 7 just because I'm dealing with Unison. But then I make sure that I have so much control as yellow that I'm just dropping my bombs in that make that 6 or 7 life almost meaningless because I've burned up all of their counters, just trying to have them defend their Unison.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I definitely feel the control aspect. That's how blue I feel like is strong. Was once they get their Unison, it's you're in for a ride.
Yeah, every color kind of has that like that thing about them, right? Like yellow can just interrupt almost anything you do, right? And that's something you
Yeah,
have to deal with playing against yellow. Blue is like their unisons are crazy strong, and when they have their unison, they can god sealing and stop like almost anything you do. But if they don't have their unison, they're so much more vulnerable.
yeah,
Green right now is just like basically cell surge or bust. Red is like that aggressive color that is not quite as strong as black, and then black is that really strong aggressive color. Unless you're playing against like a rogue Hatchiyak, and then you just want to rip your eyes out. But
yeah, right.